Right now, swimming in the icy waters of the Arctic, there are sharks that were alive when George Washington was president. Sharks that have been gliding through the depths for over 400 years, making them older than the oldest trees, older than any known animal on our planet. But here's what will really disturb you. We only discovered this incredible longevity by accident, and what we've learned is rewriting everything we know about life itself. What if I told you there are creatures living today that have witnessed more human history than any museum could contain? Animals that were swimming in Arctic waters when Shakespeare was writing his plays, when the Mayflower landed at Plymouth Rock, when Napoleon was conquering Europe. I'm talking about the Greenland shark, a massive, mysterious predator that holds the record as the longest living vertebrate on Earth. These incredible creatures can live at least 272 years, with estimates suggesting they might reach 512 years or more. That means there are Greenland sharks alive today that began their lives in the 1600s. But here's what makes this discovery so extraordinary. These sharks don't even reach sexual maturity until they're around 150 years old. Think about that. They spend more than a human lifetime just growing up. They're like living time capsules, carrying the secrets of centuries in their ancient bodies. In this video, I'm going to share the incredible story of how scientists discovered this remarkable longevity, what these ancient sharks can teach us about survival in the harshest environments on Earth, and why their existence challenges everything we know about aging and death. By the end, you'll understand why some researchers believe these sharks might hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of immortality itself. Let me start with a story that will completely change how you think about scientific discovery. In 2016, marine biologist Julius Nielsen was studying Greenland sharks caught accidentally by fishing vessels in the Arctic. These massive creatures, some over 16 feet long, had been considered a nuisance by fishermen for generations. Slow-moving giants that got tangled in nets meant for other fish. But Nielsen was curious about something that had puzzled scientists for decades. Unlike most sharks, Greenland sharks grow incredibly slowly, only about half an inch per year. If you do the math on a 16-foot shark, that suggests an animal that's been alive for an extraordinarily long time. The problem was, nobody knew how to age a Greenland shark. Most fish can be aged by examining their ear bones or scales, which grow in annual rings like trees. But Greenland sharks are cartilaginous. They have no bones, no scales, nothing that shows growth rings. They seem to exist outside our normal understanding of biological aging. Then Nielsen had a breakthrough that would revolutionize our understanding of longevity. He realized that the eye lenses of these sharks are formed before birth and never change throughout their entire lives. The proteins in the center of the lens are literally as old as the shark itself. By using radiocarbon dating on these lens proteins, he could determine the shark's age with remarkable accuracy. What he discovered shocked the scientific world. The largest sharks in his study were over 400 years old. One female, measuring nearly 18 feet long, was estimated to be 392 years old, with a margin of error that could place her birth as far back as 1505, before the founding of the first European colonies in the Americas. But here's where this gets truly mind-bending. This ancient female hadn't even reached full maturity when she was caught. Female Greenland sharks don't become capable of reproduction until they're around 150 years old. That means this particular shark had spent 2.5 centuries of her life simply growing and learning to survive in the Arctic depths. Can you imagine the history this creature witnessed? She was swimming in Arctic waters when the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock, when the American Revolution began, when the Civil War tore the nation apart, through both world wars, the space race, the dawn of the Internet age, all while maintaining the same slow, methodical existence in the dark depths of the ocean. But Nielsen's discovery raised even more disturbing questions. If these sharks live for centuries, what evolutionary advantages does such extreme longevity provide? And more importantly, what secrets do their ancient bodies hold about surviving in conditions that would kill most other creatures? 600 miles north of Iceland, in waters so cold they hover just above freezing, Greenland sharks have mastered survival in conditions that seem designed to kill. The Arctic Ocean is one of the most hostile environments on our planet. Perpetual darkness for months at a time, crushing pressure, and temperatures that would freeze most animals solid within minutes. Yet Greenland sharks thrive here in ways that challenge our understanding of biological limits. They've evolved a natural antifreeze system that prevents ice crystals from forming in their blood and tissues. Their metabolism is so slow that they can survive on incredibly small amounts of food for extended periods. They move through the water like living ghosts, barely expending energy, conserving every resource for their centuries-long lifespan. But here's what makes their survival strategy truly extraordinary. Marine biologist Dr. Alastair Dove has documented Greenland sharks living in waters where no other large predators can survive. While other sharks migrate to warmer waters or die when temperatures drop, Greenland sharks actually prefer the coldest, deepest parts of the Arctic Ocean. Their diet reveals just how adaptable these ancient predators have become. They've been found with everything from fish and seals to polar bears and reindeer in their stomachs, suggesting they're opportunistic feeders who will consume whatever becomes available in their harsh environment. Some researchers believe they may even feed on drowning land animals that fall through Arctic ice. Yet perhaps most remarkably, they accomplish all this while being partially blind. Nearly every adult Greenland shark carries parasitic copepods attached to their eyes, creating a dangling, worm-like appendage that impairs their vision. Rather than being a disadvantage, some scientists theorize these parasites might actually help by creating bioluminescent lures to attract prey in the perpetual darkness of the Arctic depths. Think about the implications of their survival strategy. While most animals achieve evolutionary success through speed, aggression, or specialization, Greenland sharks have chosen the opposite path. Extreme patience, minimal energy expenditure, and incredible longevity. They've essentially become living repositories of survival knowledge, accumulating centuries of experience in one of Earth's most challenging environments. Dr. Kim Preble from the Arctic University of Norway has spent years studying these remarkable creatures. She's discovered that their slow lifestyle isn't just about conserving energy. It's about playing the ultimate long game. In an environment where resources are scarce and conditions are brutal, the ability to wait out harsh periods for decades or even centuries becomes the ultimate survival advantage. In 2019, researchers at the University of Copenhagen made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the scientific community studying aging and longevity. While examining the cellular structure of Greenland shark tissues, they found something that challenges our fundamental understanding of how aging works at the molecular level. Unlike virtually every other animal on Earth, Greenland sharks show remarkable cellular stability even after centuries of life. Their DNA repair mechanisms work with impressive efficiency throughout their extended lifespans. Most notably, their cancer rates appear to be extremely low, despite living for centuries in an environment with natural radiation and various toxins. Marine biologists are studying the genetic mechanisms that allow Greenland sharks to live for centuries, which may have applications for understanding longevity in other species. Early research suggests that some longevity-related genes found in these sharks have analogues in other animals, including humans. Scientists are exploring whether these biological pathways could potentially help us understand aging processes better. The implications are significant. If we could understand the cellular mechanisms of Greenland sharks, we might gain insights into age-related diseases, cancer resistance, and longevity processes. These ancient predators might provide valuable data for medical research that has studied aging and longevity for decades. Yet there's something troubling about this discovery. Dr. Peter Cately from the University of Edinburgh has raised concerns about what happens when you have predators that can live for half a millennium in ecosystems where everything else lives for decades at most. Greenland sharks accumulate not just age, but also environmental toxins, heavy metals, and pollutants over their extended lifespans. Recent studies have found centuries-old Greenland sharks with mercury levels in their tissues that far exceed what should be lethal to any living creature. They've become living repositories of ocean pollution, carrying toxins from decades of human industrial activity in their ancient bodies. Some researchers worry that these sharks might be canaries in the coal mine, early warning systems for environmental catastrophes that won't affect other species for generations. But perhaps most disturbing of all is what their longevity tells us about the deep ocean itself. If creatures can live for centuries in the Arctic depths, what other ancient things might be dwelling in the 95% of our oceans that remain unexplored? Here's what really haunts me about the Greenland shark discovery. These creatures represent just one species in the vast, largely unexplored Arctic Ocean. If evolution produced one animal capable of living for centuries in these harsh conditions, what other ancient creatures might be lurking in the deep? Recent deep-sea exploration missions have begun finding other extraordinarily long-lived species in the world's coldest, deepest waters. Antarctic sponges that may live for over 1,000 years. Deep-sea corals that could be millennia old. Clams that have been alive since the Roman Empire. The pattern is clear. The deeper and colder the water, the longer the lifespans. We're discovering that our planet's most extreme environments don't just harbor life. They harbor ancient life. Creatures that have witnessed centuries or even millennia of Earth's history, carrying in their bodies the chemical signatures of ages past. But here's what keeps marine biologists like Dr. Aaron Fisk awake at night. Climate change is rapidly warming Arctic waters, potentially disrupting ecosystems that have remained stable for thousands of years. The same cold, stable conditions that allow Greenland sharks to live for centuries are disappearing faster than at any point in recorded history. What happens when creatures adapted for extreme longevity suddenly face rapid environmental change? What knowledge dies with them if these ancient ecosystems collapse? We started this journey asking about creatures that have witnessed more history than any human ever could. After exploring the incredible longevity of Greenland sharks, I think we've discovered something far more profound than just biological curiosity. These ancient predators represent living links to our planet's past. Creatures that carry in their bodies the chemical history of centuries, the genetic wisdom of extreme survival, and potentially the keys to understanding longevity itself. They've solved biological puzzles that our most advanced medical science is still struggling with. The real question isn't just how these sharks live for centuries. It's what their existence tells us about the hidden complexity of life in our planet's most extreme environments. Every time we explore the deep ocean, we find creatures that challenge our assumptions about the limits of life itself. But time is running out. As Arctic ice melts and ocean temperatures rise, we're potentially losing entire ecosystems of ancient creatures before we've even had a chance to study them. The Greenland sharks swimming in Arctic waters today might be among the last generation to experience the stable, cold conditions that allowed their species to achieve such remarkable longevity. The next time you think about the mysteries hidden beneath our oceans, remember this. Somewhere in the Arctic depths, there are sharks alive today that began their lives before your country was founded. They're living reminders that our planet holds secrets far more ancient and profound than we've ever imagined. What do you think? Could understanding these ancient sharks help us unlock the secrets of human longevity? Are we looking at the future of medical science swimming in the Arctic depths? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this kind of exploration into the ocean's most incredible mysteries fascinates you, subscribe to Ancient Underwater Mysteries. There are countless more secrets hiding in the depths, and together, we're going to discover them all.